On March 13, 2020, COVID-19 was declared a national emergency, and scientists at LSU Health Shreveport began brainstorming a way to combat the pandemic by creating a lab to maximize the public health response. 12 days later, the Emerging Viral Threats Lab was officially established and began processing SARS-CoV-2 samples. In mid-March, as Governor John Bel Edwards issued stay-at-home orders for Louisiana, LSUHS created new COVID-19 strike teams and sent them into nursing homes to test for the virus. The surge was met by a strategy of frequent testing and strict quarantine, soon leading to one of the lowest positive rates in the nation for nursing homes and assisted living facilities. Testing was quickly expanded to the community. The first local mobile testing site was opened on April 25, 2020 at David Raines Community Center with financial support from the Caddo Parish Commission and Inferno Manufacturing. Since the pandemic began, EVT lab strike teams have provided testing in over 150 locations, including medically underserved areas. As of September 2021, the EVT lab has processed over 429,000 PCR samples from 61 of 64 Louisiana parishes. As the pandemic drug on, the EVT lab began to track and monitor the virus by sequencing SARS-CoV-2 samples. The lab has processed 50% of the sequencing in Louisiana. Over 5,400 samples have been sequenced and 7 COVID-19 variants have been discovered. COVID-19 research also concentrated on patient care. LSU Health Shreveport was the first in Louisiana and among the first in the nation to provide convalescent plasma and nitric oxide clinical trials with the goal of offering hope and healing to those suffering with COVID-19. In August 2020, LSU Health Shreveport became one of 2 institutions in Louisiana and the only location in North Louisiana to participate in the Pfizer vaccine clinical trial. As soon as vaccines were approved, LSU Health Shreveport led the way in delivering vaccinations. On January the 11th, 2021, the first drive-through mass vaccination site in Louisiana was opened at the State Fairgrounds in Shreveport. In an effort to increase the number of doses available, LSUHS partnered with local community hospitals. Over the next months, vaccine sites were expanded through North Louisiana to sports arenas, schools, churches, even comic book conventions. Strike teams have traveled all over the area to deliver the vaccine to the public. Since January, LSU Health Shreveport has administered over 90,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine. As schools reopened and children returned to in-person learning, LSU Health Shreveport once again met the challenge and began providing SARS-CoV-2 testing to K-12 schools in 32 Louisiana parishes in an effort to identify outbreaks quickly and keep children in school. Over the last 18 months, LSU Health Shreveport has become a leader in the fight against COVID-19. Media outlets from around the world, like the New York Times and BBC, have turned to LSUHS physicians and researchers for answers and insights into the pandemic. LSU Health Shreveport has taken the idea of creating a viral threats lab for North Louisiana and turned it into a transformational platform to address the pandemic all across Louisiana and beyond.